it like Toby. You on my way, don't get cozy. Give me my trophy. Yeah, I had to pray, I had to kill off the old me. Yeah, had to focus a lot, I'ma shoot my shot, Kobe. Yeah, I'm on my way. Get it like Toby. You on my way, don't get cozy. Give me my trophies. Yeah, I had to pray, I had to kill off the old me. Yeah, had to focus a lot, I'ma shoot my shot, Kobe. Yeah, killing my verses, living my purpose. Yeah, healing my burdens, giving my service. Yeah, I had to pray, I had to kill off the old me. Yeah, had to focus a lot, I'ma shoot my shot, Kobe.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Unnamed Sports Show right here on Gorilla Crest Radio, streaming live on GorillaCrest.com, the Gorilla Crest app, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitch, Twitter. We are everywhere. I'm your host, Quan59. Got my man, just in time, Josh Williams, who was here super early today, wearing his Cubs jersey, or shirt. Cubs? Today?
Listen, it's still Cubs time, all right?
Okay.
Even though we're trash.
You're not that great.
Look, they traded away my whole team. How good am I supposed to be?
I mean, I would have saved the shirt for maybe next year.
Well, it fell out of the closet, and so it had to go on.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be. It was its day.
We got our wonderful co-host, one of the ladies of Unnamed, the beautiful, talented Sophia Maria.
Hey, what's good, guys? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. How you feeling? How was your weekend?
I feel great. The weekend was amazing. I worked. I ate way too much, but that's okay.
That's all right.
It's all right.
Well,
it's good to live life and get full.
Yeah.
I guess for me, it's not all right anymore.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you got to chill a little bit, Josh. You got to chill.
You're good, Josh.
It's all right.
It's great.
I did jumping jacks this weekend, and we're working ourselves back.
You did some jumping jacks, huh?
Not jumping jacks, jump rope. Jump
rope.
I
was like,
my bad.
How many jumping jacks did you do?
Hey, listen, Jack LaLanne would tell you that jumping jacks are just fine.
I get a little confused when I do jumping jacks because I'm dizzy by like number 30. And I'm like jumping backwards. I feel like I'm in the same spot, but it doesn't work like that.
For me, it doesn't work. After 3 kids, this is probably too much information, but the bladder just does not go good with jumping jacks. It's not great.
The same.
It's not great.
I got you.
Gotta hold it in.
You're so funny. But listen, we have a dope show for you today, so we're going to get right to it. We're going to play a highlight reel of our guest right now. And then we're going to introduce him and get into the show. So this is highlights from one of the 50 greatest players of all time in the National Basketball Association, Mr. Rick Barry, right here on Unnamed Sports Show.
I just love to see the passion, him pointing and yelling at people. That's the Rick that I know. But let's just get into this quickly. 1966 Rookie of the Year, 12-time All-Star, ABA champion, NBA champion, 1975 NBA Finals MVP, All-Star Game MVP, 6-time All-NBA, ABA scoring champion, NBA scoring champion, the Miami Greyhound, Mr. Rick Barry.
Hey, give it up for Rick Barry. Rick, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing great. I actually just wanted to start this because I'm going to go and sit down, but that's a cool thing that I did for the Retired Players Association. That's a pretty neat art piece over there.
Okay.
That's me in the middle, and then I got to pick the players that I wanted to put around me. So it's kind of a cool piece.
Okay.
Anyway,
that's awesome.
Sit down, and I'm going to walk a little bit and go so I can sit down.
Oh, we're getting the home tour.
Yeah, well, because the thing is I'm on the phone, and so like hold it, and I'm trying to put this down, and hopefully I'm going to put it down in such a way that we'll be able to keep me seeing you guys, and then not have to hold on to it the whole time. Can you see me all right?
All right, let's see. We're good.
Yeah, we
are
got you.
gold,
We got
Rick.
you.
That's perfect.
Good.
That's good. Now, Rick, the Miami Greyhound. I just learned that was your nickname. I've known you for years now, and I never knew that was your nickname. Where did that nickname come from, and how did it stick?
No, never stuck. Never stuck. They tried to do that for me because I could run, and I was fast, and I was quick, and I came from Miami, and they have the Greyhound racing tracks down there, but never stuck. I mean, absolutely never did stick.
Never stuck.
So I've been called a lot of things worse than Miami Greyhound. But more. I just want to tell you something. You saw in the video highlights, you probably saw some things that you probably don't see very much of nowadays, which is, well, first of all, the underhanded free throw, obviously, but also like a running hook shot. I mean, how many times do you see a running hook shot in today's basketball game?
Never.
Yeah.
A two-handed, underhanded scoop shot. I mean, so, yeah, I mean, the game has changed quite a bit. And I'm doing this. I'm going to tell you why I'm doing this. I'm doing this mainly because of one reason, because I love JYD. He's like one of the great people of all time. The work he's doing with the Junior 3 program, and, with the Big 3 and Cube and all is awesome. And he's a great guy. So I'm happy to do this, and I'm doing it because of him.
Well, I appreciate that.
Nice.
Eventually, I hope you do it for me, but that's all right. I'll take what I get at this point,
I'm
Rick.
just telling you, that's what it is. It's not what you know in life; it's who you know. You happen to know him, and I guess you should know him if you grew up with him. But yeah. So.
Well, we definitely do appreciate you getting on with us, Rick. And talk about that. We saw the granny shot in the highlights. So talk about that a little bit. Your shooting percentage went way up when you were doing that in the NBA. Why do more players not do that, especially these players that just cannot shoot free throws at all?
Well, I have no idea. I mean, everybody says, that I guess it's their ego or something, but what does it matter how you look? And the last thing I think, well, who came up with this granny shot name?
Yeah.
I saw grandmother shooting it. I don't know. I mean, and women, and it used to be when I first my father got me to do it when I was back in high school. Girls shot it that way. I didn't want to shoot it. I said, I can't do that. They're going to make fun of me. And he said,
Wow.
The words like they were yesterday. Son, they can't make fun of you if you're making them. And he was right. And I'm so glad that he was just so relentless about getting me to try it and said, you could be a better free throw shooter if you try this. I was only like in the 70s. And so I gave it a sincere effort, and I realized pretty quickly that, wow, this is really pretty good. And so I really worked at it. I just wish I had been smart enough to do what I did late in my career when I changed the technique and modified it some and took my wrist out of it. And I went from, being a pretty good free throw shooter to a great free throw shooter. I shot over 92% my last 6 years with the new style, and over 94 my last 2 years. And so that's a good message when I tell kids. I said, never be satisfied with what you're doing. You could always look to strive to improve. I was actually became a better free throw shooter at the end of my career than I was at the beginning. I wish I had shot it that way earlier, because I was shooting over 10 free throws a game. I could have put up some serious numbers. And I was always mad that I never got to make 100 or more in a row in competition. That was my goal, to get to 100. I had the record at 60 for quite some time, and then it got broken by a number of guys who I respect anytime somebody can do that. But why more guys won't shoot it, I don't know. It would have changed Shaq's career. He would have had more championships. It would be a major thing right now for a guy like Ben Simmons to change his career. Same thing with Giannis, who actually happened in the last game. He actually had a great game from the free throw line.
Yes, he did.
But if you're a free throw shooter, which you should be to be a good free throw shooter, you're not good if you're not 80. It would be a big change. I mean, even teams, if teams shoot 80% from the free throw line as a team, they win a lot of extra games during the course of the season. Because just figure out how many games are decided by 1, 2, and 3 points.
Yeah.
And that between 70 and 80% is the difference in winning or losing.
Exactly.
Now, do you reach out to players like Ben Simmons, who's not shooting free throws well and got killed for it this year in the playoffs? Do you reach out to people like that to try to get them to change?
In 3 days, I got one guy to come and do it. I actually had him shooting over 80%, and he never had the guts to go back to his team and ever try it. I think my son tried to reach out through his agent to tell him, about that he could help, because my son Canyon shoots that way, and he's 85 to 90% free throw shooter. And he could really help him a lot, and actually even help him with the shot, because he needs help in both areas.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he's got. When I saw him play, he played against my son Canyon when My son was at the College of Charleston before he finished at Florida. And when I saw him on the court, I'm talking about Ben, I said, wow, I mean, this kid has got some real talent. But even then I said, he just got to learn how to shoot. And he still hasn't, which is the sad part.
Yeah. Now, Rick, when you talk about today's game and today's players, how do you think that you would fare in today's game, and how would you defend today's players?
Oh, I'd be way better. I mean, people say to me, you couldn't play today with these guys. I said, are you out of your mind? Do you understand how much better I would be? We had nothing when it came to training. Nothing. No strength coach, no agility coach, no dietitian. Traveled on commercial airlines, didn't get on a plane after a game and get a good night's sleep and fly to the next city that night. You had to get 3-4 hours of sleep, get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to catch the first flight to the next city, hope that your uniform dried out after you washed it in the shower. I mean, such a different world. And I would be faster, stronger, quicker, more endurance, jump higher. I'd be so much better a basketball player if I were playing today. And it's crazy.
That's scary to think, Rick, because you were pretty good. You're pretty good.
Better if we had all of that available to us, the technique, the sophistication of the training that is involved in all sports today. It's no wonder that these athletes are doing some of these amazing things that they're doing. I mean, I wish I had that available to me when I was playing. In fact, if I was playing, I just talked to somebody the other day, and I said, if I could play today, I'd be a point guard.
And you were how tall? You were how tall? 6.
With my shoes on 6'8", but I would play point. The thing is, I was faster than the guards. I was quick and fast, so the speed was not a problem. So I could deal with that part of it. And also, the thing is, everybody talked about me. I was the point forward, and I kind of do stuff from the point forward spot. But you have so much more control of the destiny of your team if you're the point guard. Yeah. And I love making passes and doing stuff. I would really love to be a point guard. If I can come back, I'd want to be a point guard for sure. And I would be a distributing point guard who would score if necessary, kind of like the way Steve Nash played. I love Steve Nash because Steve Nash would want to get 15 to 20 assists a game. He's more happy with that, kind of like Magic's attitude. But if you had to get 20 or 30, they can do that. And that's the beauty. And that's, I really wish I could have done that. That would have been really cool to be able to do that in my career, to have a little bit more of an opportunity. I did it fairly well as a forward, and I made the top 10 in assists later in my career when I didn't have to carry the burden offensively, when I was playing with 2 Hall of Famers, and Moses Malone and Calvin Murphy and Mike Newland, some other and great players. And that would have been fun to do. That's you're the quarterback. I mean, basically, you're the guy following the play. You're the guy that's getting the ball to the right people at the right time. Yeah, I wish I could do that.
Now, Rick, you played in an era, and you were a little controversial in your career. You were. What's that?
You really think I was controversial?
A little bit. There was some stuff.
I'm joking, of course.
So
I tell you why. It's because back in those days, it was like athletes are supposed to be dumb jocks, and you're not supposed to have an opinion. You just shut up and play the sport. No, I actually was reasonably intelligent, and I always had an opinion about things, and I was not afraid to express it. Yeah. And people didn't hear it, especially the truth. Now I really feel a little bit like Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men in the courtroom scene with Tom Cruise. You can't handle the truth.
That's funny. But today in the social media era, how would you have handled, the things you said and did? How would you handle that now in the social media era where everything you do is under a microscope?
Yeah.
I wish I could be playing this time. First of all, I'd have the 3 extra zeros on my contract that I never heard.
Yeah.
Never heard the word million. But the thing is that I could have a 5-year, $200+ million max contract, and I would make more money off the court than I would on the court. Because if you really know what you're doing, I majored in marketing, I could absolutely kill social media. It's one of the greatest opportunities to make a lot of money if you know what you're doing and you utilize it properly. And I don't think a lot of guys utilize it properly. I wish I had the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Now, Rick, do you wish today's kids and players knew more and had a greater appreciation for the game? I know that you and I met at the Hall of Fame years ago, and that's kind of how I got to know you. But I feel like today's kids, especially today's players, don't know enough about your generation and the generation even before you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, you don't have to be a historian. I mean, I happen to love ancient history. I was just over in Jerusalem and got to see some stuff from over 2,000 years ago that the tourists haven't even seen yet, which is just unbelievable. I could talk for about an hour about that. But anyway, no, I don't. That's not a big deal. What I have a real issue with is that, unfortunately, they're not being taught how to play the game the right way, and they're fundamental. That's the problem.
Yes.
I mean, there's some guys that have such incredible talent, and their athleticism is off the freaking charts. But the thing is a lot of them don't know how to utilize that incredible God-given talent that they have in the best way possible, and they're never going to be as good as they should be or could have been had they learned how to play the game the right way and understood the game, because it's not a complicated game.
Yeah.
There's only 5 people on the floor at the same time. It's basically 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. Unfortunately, too many teams do too much of the 1-on-1 garbage, and they don't do a lot of the 3-on-3 and keep everybody active, where 5 guys are doing things, kind of like the Warriors did in the 5 years that they put together for the greatest 5 years anybody's ever put together in the history of the game, which is fun to watch and just incredibly fun to play that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Now speaking of the history of the game, can you talk about how excited you were in 1988 when your son Scooter won the national championship with Kansas?
Yeah, that was very special. I mean, it's one thing to do something yourself, but to see your kids have success, it was awesome. In fact, I was in the stands. In fact, when I give some speeches, I have a video that I show from the opening, and part of the video is me in the stands watching him when he made what turned out to be the winning free throw in the NCAA tournament against Oklahoma back in Kansas City. And I'm in the stands and I'm doing it. He makes it, and I stand up and give. Probably Tiger Woods would have been jealous of my fist pump on that.
That's good.
Hi, Mr. Rick Barry. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes. After getting 3 of your children to the NBA, what do you think parents need to know in the beginning, middle, and end of their child's scholastic sports journey?
Well, first of all, let's hope that they emphasize the scholastic part of it, because very few of them are going to make the journey all the way to a professional sport. So I always try to tell young kids that I talk to them, their number one priority should be getting a great education. And then hopefully you have some good people to be able to teach you the right things to do as far as your sport is concerned. And I tell them that you have to lay down a foundation. You don't build a skyscraper on a small foundation. And so whatever you're doing in life, whether it's broadcasting, whether it's sales, whether it's science, whether it's music, whether it's acting, whatever, you have to learn the fundamental principles and concepts of what it is you're trying to be good at. And the bigger the foundation, the taller the building. And if you're blessed with God-given talent and abilities, and you apply yourself to it and dedicate yourself to it, you can maximize your potential. And so that's what parents should be focusing on. I mean, that fundamentals when it comes to the sports, and fundamentals when it comes to whatever it is a child decides he has an interest in. And that's how you support them.
Fabulous. That's so well said. Thank you so much.
So the Golden State Warriors, everyone's favorite team right now, right? I mean, the past few years, they've been everyone's favorite team. But
they haven't been. Last few years, they haven't.
Well, maybe not last few years, but I mean, they got very popular, recently being, having the best record ever. But you're an original Golden State Warrior champion. Tell us what that was like in 1975, going against a team that was supposed to be the best team in the league, or one of the best in the league, in the Washington Bullets. And you guys went in there and swept them. What was that like, just to be able to bring that to Golden State?
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. The word they use now. Hey, don't diss me, right? We got dissed. Okay. It is the most overlooked accomplishments in the history of major sports in our country. I defy anybody to come back and tell me that there was a professional team in this country that was but that was not even thought to be a playoff team. I mean, we were just written off. Okay, totally written off. And we come back. Not only do we win our division, we win our conference. Then we get to the finals, and they say it's the biggest mismatch in the history of NBA finals. This will be a sweep. Well, they were right about the sweep.
It was a sweep.
They get the wrong team. We did not get on the cover of Sports Illustrated for a story.
Wow.
We never got invited to the White House. There's never been a documentary or anything done about our team. And I see these documentaries about all these teams that have been on television that didn't accomplish anything close to what we accomplished. And I feel so badly for my teammates to not have gotten the recognition they deserve for epitomizing what the game of basketball is all about, a team effort. I mean, and it's just really sad. I feel badly. I got recognition because I happened to be the MVP of the series and all, but we were dissed. There is no question about it.
Hey, Rick, we might have to catch up on that. We'll see if we can make that documentary happen. I'll see what I can do. How many of your former teammates are still with us and and
Lost
still
a
would
lot
want to
of
talk.
that part. Yeah, I mean, in their 40s, who a rookie, Phil Smith, who was instrumental in helping us, along with Keith Wilkes, who was, it was Jamal Wilkes now. But to have two rookies be an integral part of your success is so rare.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. And they were great. I mean, so I just love that year. I mean, I'll show you. I have other rings and doing stuff, but I only the championship ring. You play for championship. You don't play for individual honors. And that's what it's all about. And that's what it should all be about. And, a lot of people have problems with these guys going up and say, hey, hooking up with this team and that team. Why? They want to win a championship.
Yeah.
For them, it's not about the money anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, they make so much money. They can live, 100 lifetimes, for God's sake.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with guys that want to go and play on a team where they can win a championship. I know some guys have a problem, say, well, you need to do it within the confines of how the team and they build it. Well, if you got a crappy general manager who doesn't pick good players for you to play with, I mean, this is why when I look at the rankings of players and the ratings that these people come out, the talking heads, I mean, they give more value to a guy because he was on more championships teams. What the hell does that have to do with his ability?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, if his teammates aren't any good or don't play well, he's not winning.
Period.
Yeah.
It's one of the crazy things. I mean, it really truly is. I have a real issue and stuff with that. I really do. And, more points because you're on champion. Wow, come on. You were lucky. There's a lot of terrific players out there who are not on, really great teams and they didn't win titles. And so, and usually it takes a couple of other star players. That's why one of the things I was proudest of is we did it with a team that didn't have any other really star players.
Yeah.
I mean, we had two rookies, the rookie of the year and Keith Wilkes, and we had two veterans who were at the end of their career that we picked up Bill Bridges late to play against Chicago because he usually gave Bob Love some problems. And we had Jeff Mullins, who was a great, player, and it was great, but they came off the bench. And the rest of the guys were guys people don't even know. I start rubbing out. I start throwing out. Charles Johnson, he's no longer with us. Did a great job for us. Butch Beard, people not a household name, who was our point guard. In fact, getting rid of Butch Beard, I think, cost us winning back-to-back championships. They got rid of Butch because the general manager didn't want to deal with his wife.
Yeah.
How's that a reason to get rid of a player? Okay. Stuff, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have Derek Dickey, who unfortunately is no longer with us. We lost him in his 40s, along with Phil Smith, the rookie. And then, George Johnson and Clifford Ray. We had the two-headed monster centers. The two guys together were like having a superstar center. One guy physical and Clifford who could go out there, jump out, guard the guards off screens. George, who was more finesse blocking shots. George saved our butts. And in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals against Chicago at home, okay, I'm stinking up the gym. Okay, the greatest coaching move of Al Latto's life was benching me in the third quarter of the championship of the Western Conference in 1975. How many coaches would have enough guts to do that? Seriously.
Yeah.
Put me on. Deservedly so. I was like 2 for 14. I was horrible. And then George comes in for Clifford doing it. They held Chicago scoreless for 7.5 minutes, my teammates. 7.5 minutes. They didn't score. Gave us a chance to get back in the game. Al still didn't put me in. And to his credit, he left the guys in and were doing well. And I sat for a bunch of time in the fourth quarter as well. Thank God when he put me back in, I played the way I should have played and did well. But who's the guys that were cheering most? Clifford Ray and me, the starting center. The most important guy of our team was Clifford Ray. I'm on the bench along with Clifford, and we're there cheering for our teammates. Now, that's what basketball is all about.
That's what it is. 100%.
Yeah. So 75, you win the championship. 76, you get to the Western Conference Finals. Game 7, you and Ricky Sobers get in an altercation.
No, hey, listen, please. I don't even want to hear you bring that up because that is such bullshit.
Yes.
Okay.
I got mad and I let my teammates down. I am so mad at Al McCoy, the announcer for those people, to have the audacity to say that I would ever quit in a basketball game because I'm mad at my freaking teammates. What, is he out of his freaking mind? Does he know? He didn't know me.
Did you ever have a conversation with him about that? Because, that was the story.
It's an insult to my integrity and as a person. I hate that anybody even brings it up and believes that's such crap. It's unbelievable. I mean, it had nothing to do with it. I tried to play the game the right way. I should have been more involved. I should have been the SOB that everybody thought I was.
Yeah.
And I should have played the game in the second half because I had a really good first half and say, what the hell are you guys doing? Give me the ball.
Yeah.
Okay. But even then, I wouldn't have just gone out and tried to shoot and do everything. What I finally did when I got the ball is I tried to do it team-wise. I tried
Try to get everybody involved. Yeah.
I tried to create opportunities. In fact, it came down to we ran a pick and roll with Clifford Ray. I made a pass. The ball got bobbled. Alvin Adams went down and made a dunk, and that closed us out in Game 7. So, I mean, it's not that I remember these things, right? So we should have beaten them. There's no way Boston beats us in the finals. In fact, Phoenix got screwed because I did that playoff game. Richie Powers, I chose to ignore his request when Paul Silas asked for a timeout in that triple overtime game, which could have been a victory for Phoenix. Well, we could have won easily if we had done that. Now, I can tell you what happened. The whole rules changed because of what happened in the game. If the rule that is in effect now, and I'll explain it to you in a second, if it was in effect then, we win a game in Phoenix that we wound up losing, and they put a rule in. So we're playing in Phoenix. We're ahead. They make a basket, cut the lead to 1. I run back. I'm going to get the ball inbounds. I know they have to foul me because we're right down late in the last minute. And so a timeout is called. We go to our bench. We do whatever we do. The play is to get the ball to me. You figure they're going to foul me, right? But here's what happened. They were smart. And I give credit to John McLeod for doing it. Whoever came up with the idea. It might have been Al Bianchi, the assistant coach. They fouled my teammate out of bounds intentionally off the ball. The rule came in the next year. And then he goes down. He misses the free throw. Keith Erickson comes down, knocks in a shot. There was no three-point shot. Now they're up 1.
Yeah.
We have a few seconds left. We run a play for me at the end of the game. I come off of 3 different screens. I run my guy off of 3 guys with Clifford Ray being the last guy I run my man into. I'm wide open. Unfortunately, the ball gets passed to Jamal in the corner. Jamal goes up for a shot. Garherd comes out and gets a finger on it and blocks it, and we lose that game. Now, in my mind, if we don't call the timeout, they would have fouled me. They wouldn't have had time to think about fouling somebody else. I'm going to free throws. We win that game. And we would have never gone to a Game 7.
Yeah. And
the last 2 minutes that came up, you cannot foul intentionally off the basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that rule got changed out of that play.
Yep.
Wow. And you would have been up 3 with no 3-point line if you would have went to the free throw line. Yeah. Yeah.
And we talked about that. Okay, let's talk about no 3-point line.
Yeah.
Second year in the league, I believe, 35 points a game with no 3-point line. And your free throw percentage wasn't as good because you weren't doing the underhand shot yet. So how much would you have averaged that year with the 3-point line?
No, not doing the underhand free throw. But my free throw wasn't as good as it was late in my career.
Okay. Okay.
How good could you have been with a 3-point line early in your career, Rick?
Probably lousy because I never shot from that far.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
I would have had to, learn. I was actually learning. Would go to the ABA. I had to learn it. I got to myself to about 33%, and I was getting better. For my career, I was 33. I think, but I actually, when I was with the Rockets, I actually was a little better sometime than that. I mean, I think I got Player of the Week one time. I was 4 for 6, 6 for 8, and 8 for 12 in 3 games and shooting threes. And I would not have been satisfied if the 3-point shot was part of the game when I played the whole time. I would have a benchmark for myself. I would want to be 40% or better, even though 33 is very good. 33 is 50%. Yeah. So to me, when I coached my players, if you weren't 30% or better, you could never shoot a 3-point shot unless the shot clock was running out. If you were, if you took a shot going to the 3-point shot, you'd be sitting next to me on the bench.
There you go. We are live on the line with NBA legend, Hall of Famer, one of the 50 greatest players in the NBA, Rick Barry, live right here on Unnamed Sports Show. Talk about that real quick, Rick. 50 greatest players. What was that like when they announced that after, the 50-year anniversary?
Well, it certainly was a nice honor, but as I said, I didn't play for those honors. I try to give people a visual to it so that they can understand what it's like. You play the game to win championships. So let's say that you take something and you have a birthday cake, an anniversary cake, whatever. You have your cake, then you have icing, you have beautiful decorations, the flowers that they put on it, and the decorations and the candles and cherries or whatever. Take all of those things and stick them on a plate without the cake. What does it look like? This looks like a big mess sitting on the plate. You got to have the cake. The cake is what you play for. Mm-hmm. Fortunately for me, I was able to get the cake, and I had a whole bunch of really nice things that I could put on it to make it look really good.
Rick, what do you think makes you such a prolific scorer over the course of your career?
I just played aggressively. I mean, and plus the fact I didn't have a weakness offensively. I could drive left. I could drive right. I could shoot the jump shot. I can get out on the break. I can go in and get some offensive rebounds. And I knew how to play. I mean, I wasn't a great shooter. And when I hear these announcers on TV, I just almost like puke. Excuse me. I'm serious. When these guys come out and they say, any time you hear a guy say he's a lockdown defender, don't believe him.
Okay.
Be a lockdown defender on a shooter, but you can never lock down a scorer. I will score. There's many ways to score, and I try to break it down. How difficult is it when you really analyze it to score 20 points a game? Okay,
it is. Break it down.
I was playing 40 minutes a game. So here's the deal. So if you're playing on a team that runs, I'm going to get 4 or 6 points off of fast break opportunities in transition. Okay. So let's even keep it on the low end. I'll say I only got 4, right? I get 4. So I get 1 offensive board. I put that back. I have 6, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to drive to the basket. Back then when I played and I did it, I'm going to get 8 to 10 points on the free throw line every game. So I'm up to 14, right? 14 points. I'm right in 6 and 8. 14. I haven't taken a shot. I got 14. I haven't taken a shot. So if I take 10 shots and I only made 40% of my shots, I'm already at 20. And that's not even counting the 3-point shot.
Break it down, Rick. They don't understand, man. It's not that hard. It's not that hard when you break it down if you're good. It's really not.
And you play the game the right way and you're consistent. But I played with an aggressive attitude. My dad told me, son, when you get the ball, you have to be aggressive. You look to try to score. And you try to score, provided one thing, and this is the big thing, provided you don't have a teammate in a better position. If you do, he gets the ball.
That's it. That's it. Now, Rick, what do you think is your greater legacy to the game of basketball? Being an NBA champion, the only person ever in history to lead the league in college in scoring, lead the nation, lead the league in the ABA in scoring, and leading the league in the NBA in scoring, or having 3 sons that made it to the NBA with a 4th son, 5 sons now that have all gone professional.
Wow.
What do you think is your greater legacy?
Been NBA players. My son, it's timing is everything. My son Scooter, I got him to go get to Boston and he had tried. Larry Bird and Kevin McHale both told me, said, Rick, your son should have made our team. He was better than our number 1 draft pick.
Wow.
And unfortunately, they had 13 no-cut contracts and only 12-man rosters back then. So my son Scooter didn't get his chance, which he should have had. And he wound up playing professionally overseas until he was 40 years old. And
who was their number 1 pick in '88?
What's that?
Who was Boston's number 1 pick in '88?
I think it was a guy that got from Georgetown. They got in trouble, the guard. And he wound
Smith?
up. It might have been Smith, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Charles,
okay.
Yeah,
Charles Smith might have been Smitty.
Charles Smith.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, so he didn't make it, and then Canyon hasn't really, been given the opportunity to play there, but he should be able to play there. I mean, he's done really well. He's done great. He's on the World Cup 3x3 team on the national team and played great there. And then he's been on the G League team. He's played overseas. I mean, when he finally got a chance to actually do the kind of things he's capable of doing, he averaged 30 points a game when he played over in China, 30 points a game, and on 60, 40, 90.
No. Wow. Are you serious? Wow.
Oh, yeah. And in the G League this last season, the shortened G League season, he doesn't, he wasn't a starter. I mean, he'd come off the bench, do his things, averaged 13 points a game on only 8 shots on 48, 40, 100.
Let's go. That's good stuff.
Wow.
And he knows how to play. He knows weak side defense. He doesn't have any real weakness. He can do so many things that he's not been given a chance. And so everybody thinks, you're his father. No, listen, if you know me, like I told you, Jack Nicholson, you can't handle the truth. I only tell if my son couldn't play, I would tell you he can't play.
Be straight up honest. He's no good.
He's not good. He's not good enough. You don't want to sign this child.
I said, don't waste your can't play. And I've tried to tell people, I said, you could steal and get my son for a minimum contract. You're paying $5, $6, $7 million to guys who sit on your bench, who have glaring weaknesses in their game. And it's somebody who actually could play the game in all facets of it. And you can get him for a minimum contract, but they don't listen to me.
Huh.
How old is Canyon now? How old is he? 27.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You remember So they have after the draft, before they have the draft, they had the projected first and second round draft picks went to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
The other guys went to Portsmouth. Why he wasn't projected to be a first or second rounder, I don't know. I mean, the last two before that year, SEC sixth man of the year got drafted and played in the NBA. My son was the sixth man of the year in the SEC and did a great job. Was the second leading scorer on the team coming off the bench. Set a record for the history of the Florida basketball program of 20-point games for a player coming off the bench. I mean, and just did really well. And so he doesn't get drafted. So now when they go to those workouts, they do testing in 5 different areas. I think it's standing vertical, max vertical, agility drill, some other 5 things. So I saw all the results in Chicago, and I saw all the results from Portsmouth. If my son was in Chicago, where they were the projected first and second round draft picks, he would have been first in standing vertical, second in max vertical, first in agility, second in the other one, and third in the other one. No one in either place tested that well.
Wow. I didn't know that. He had
a 40-inch vertical.
So he's another Brent, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. He could jump. He could jump. He's kind of like Brent. He's more like Brent than the other guys. Brent could do a lot more fancy stuff in passing, and Brent's another one that never really had a chance to play the game the way he was capable of playing it. And he had a great long career, very successful. I mean, won the slam dunk contest. Was great 3-point shooter up in the 40s. Terrific. Could really pass the ball and see the floor. Who probably should have been a point guard on some teams, or at least let him have the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
I mean, go check it out and go look at some highlights of Brent that some get people to put together and see some of the things that he did. And I say, if you really want to see what he could have done, go watch when he won the slam dunk contest, when he played in that rookie sophomore game.
Oh, okay.
He played point guard. Watch the first half of that game when he had a chance and had the ball in his hands, and watch the kind of things he could do.
Oh, wow. I remember the dunk contest. I don't remember the rookie game from that year.
Oh, no, he could. Yeah, I'll give you a great example. So when he wound up, he's playing at Seattle, one of the teams he played for, and Gary Payton got traded to the Lakers.
Okay.
So for whatever reason, Nate McMillan starts him at point guard. The only time he ever had to start at point guard. He started at point guard in that game. 18 assists.
Wow.
Yeah.
And never got another shot again.
No, and like I said, I've never been a meddling father, and the only coach I talked to said something about Brent was Tim Floyd, and he was at Chicago. I said, Tim, I don't meddle. I'm just going to tell you something that maybe you want to give some consideration to. I said, have you ever thought of letting Brent be your point guard and cross-matching and let him play the 2 on defense and just let him run your team? I said, you don't have anybody now that can do the things he could do if you gave him the chance.
Yeah.
Never listened to me. And Brent never got the opportunity to kind of do that, but he could do some crazy things. He had really long arms, and I mean, I've seen him make some passes and do some things that I just kind of shook my head. In fact, I watched him in college when he won a couple of times when he had a couple of things. He didn't play point guard there either, but he was playing against USC. I was down and watching him play at USC, and he made a pass that he came across half court, took his guy to the right, wrapped the ball totally around his body, and threw a rope to the far left corner to his teammate for a wide open shot. He did a couple of things there. The fans there applauded him.
On the road.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Now, Rick, can you talk? I mean, you briefly just spoke on it. Can you talk about just how deep the NBA is in terms of talent, and then also just the bureaucracy of the league and not giving people chances simply because of whether it's draft position or this guy's selling jerseys, and we can't disturb the situation that we have here and on this team. Obviously Brent ran into that a little bit. John, bounced around the league, but was always a prolific 3-point shooter. Can you talk about that a little bit, just from outside perspective of being a father?
Well, it has nothing to do with being a father. It's have somebody that knows basketball.
Fair enough.
The problem is that teams and the general managers and stuff don't want to admit that they made mistakes. That's where it all. Listen, there's 3 things in team sports that are critical to success. Who do you draft? Who do you get in free agency? Who do you trade for? It's all about the players. And then you hope you get a coach that doesn't screw things up and understands how to utilize the talent that he has in the most efficient way possible.
Mm.
And that's another problem that happens is they try to take people, they try to take a guy who's a thoroughbred racehorse and they ask him to pull a freaking plow. I mean, and that's where the real problem comes down, is that they don't want to admit they made mistakes. I mean, my thing is bite the bullet. I mean, you can, like, if there's so many guys out there that could be playing on NBA teams right now who would be better than guys that are on those teams. They just weren't in the right place. They didn't get the recognition.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's all reputation and coming out of college and playing at the right place and the guys blowing smoke and talk, oh, this guy's so great. He's this, that, and everything. And the bottom line of it is that he's not that great a player. And what happens is the one criteria that should be at the number list, number one for every guy who's a scout, that I know is not the number one priority for them. Does the guy you're looking at have a natural feel for the game? And if he doesn't, you can have him. I don't want him.
Why is that so important?
When I did my radio show for many years with KNBR in San Francisco, and then I did Sirius Satellite for a year or so, I said, Jack, here's the deal. I'm going to give you 12 players. You can have 12 guys who are great team defenders or 12 guys who are great individual defenders. Which 12 do you want? He says, I'll take the 12 team defenders. And the reason is very obvious. As I told you before, somebody asked me, and I asked George Gervin just the other day when the last games with the Big Three, where both of us are coaching, which is a lot of fun to be a part of. And they're going to have their finals coming up, I guess. You know, unfortunately, my team didn't make it. But I said, George, did you ever find somebody that was a lockdown defender? He says, hell no. I said, absolutely, because George was a scorer.
Yeah.
So you can't down the guy. So here's the deal. If you have 12 individual great defenders, you're going to give up so many layups and so many easy baskets because those great defenders are going to get beaten a whole bunch of times by a great offensive player, a scorer, and nobody's going to be there to help them. But if you have 12 great team defenders, they never get an easy basket.
Yes.
Because you don't get to the basket because somebody's there to help and stop them. They're going to have to do something else and kick it out. That's the secret to basketball. You win with great team defense, not individual defense. If you're lucky enough as a coach to have your 12 guys know how to play, or 15 now, that they know how to play team defense, you're in a catbird seat. And if you get a couple of guys that are good individual defenders to go with it, that's a bonus.
Yes.
But you want great individual defenders who aren't good team defenders.
Yes. Rick, who's on your all-time five? Who's your starting five all time?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Let's get one more thing out of the way. We'll get it all out there. Do yourself a favor.
Uh-oh.
Never bring up the subject of who's the greatest NBA player.
Yes.
You don't
I agree.
compare people from different positions. You're not going to compare Will Chamberlain to Michael Jordan or to Magic Johnson. Every skill in each position is different. You want to have a great conversation, debate who's best at each position.
Okay.
That's good.
So with that said, I'll tell you.
All right.
I'm playing three, okay?
Okay.
All right. My team, I'm taking Magic. It's a hard choice because I love Steve Nash. I love John Stockton. There's a lot of great point guards they've had. You know, I mean, Steph is unbelievable as well. But I'm taking Magic Johnson because of his size and his versatility, okay? I have to go with Magic. I have to go with Michael Jordan at the 2. I want to play the 3. And here's why I have to change, and I'm going to cheat a little bit on this.
Okay. All right.
I'm making Bill Russell my power forward.
Okay.
Because I don't score a point. He is going to block shots and rebound and start fast breaks and do the things that he did to dominate games. And Wilt Chamberlain is my center. You take any other 5 guys you want, and I'd be happy to play them. I'm not a betting person, but I would bet in the 7-game series. I would bet on my team.
Wow.
Hey, listen.
That's good right there.
Listen, you've got 2 of the greatest all time at 4 and 5. You've got 2 of the greatest all time at 1 and 2.
I got the greatest 5. I got a guy who just because of what he can do, I don't need him to score. Bill Russell doesn't have to score a point. I got 2 other guys on my team that could score 50 points in any game.
Yes, at any moment.
Yeah.
On a regular basis, Michael and Wilt. I mean, and I could score 50. What the hell? I don't need anybody else to score points. Magic can get 25 and 30 assists a game. And here's the thing: if I was off my game or Michael was off his game, Magic could get you 30 if you needed it.
Yeah. You're right. 100%.
So in your day playing, we see the big threes in today's NBA, people teaming up, you mentioned it earlier, who would you have teamed up with in your era? What two players would you have formed a big three with?
Well, I mean, I had one of the greatest centers of all time. I mean, I was lucky enough to play with Nate Thurman. I mean, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. And you ask Kareem and the other guys, who would they think were the best defensive center they had to go up against? And I guarantee you'll hear Nate Thurman's name quite a bit. Yeah, you'll hear his name quite a bit. He was a special person, a special player, and I had the good fortune of getting a chance to play with him. So, but as far as like team, I give you one other thing. If the NBA in 1980, to save money, cut the rosters from 12 to 11. Otherwise, I would have played with the Boston Celtics and with Bird and McHale and Parrish and those guys. That would have been awesome. I would have loved to. I was ready to do it, and they cut the rosters to 11 to save money. I had the Lakers interested, I had the Sonics interested, and I had the Boston Celtics interested in my going there. I was leaving the Rockets because I just didn't like what was going on there. And even though I had a great team and great teammates, and we should have done way better than what we did, and we didn't. And unfortunately, they cut the rosters back. And because I had my knee scoped at the end of that season, I felt that good in 10 years. It was like I had a new leg.
Wow.
I had a calcium back in my joint that restricted my motions and stuff. And the doctor even said to me, he said, "Rick, how did you play with this in there?" And I said, "I didn't know it was in there." I mean, and that summer I ran my basketball camps, and I had some of the young guns coming up. I had Walter Davis from the Phoenix Suns, and Marcus Johnson from LA, and my camp. And I would always scrimmage and have my counselors and all play, and the kids would watch. I killed the guy. I hadn't felt that good, I said, in 10 years, and never played again in the NBA.
Wow.
Well, Rick, we were talking earlier. What other things do you love to do now in your free time? What are the type of things that you enjoy now?
Right. I had a bad bicycle accident. I was in a wheelchair for 3 months, 5 years ago. Thank God I had a great surgeon. I got all kinds of pins and screws in me. I fractured my pelvis in 6 places.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know that it's in there. I still do it. I'm a big-time fly fisherman. I'm actually getting ready to go on a fishing trip to Alaska with Clifford Ray and a lot of people in the beginning of September.
Nice.
I still ride bikes. I just don't go fast anymore. And then now I'm big-time pickleball. In fact, I'm going to have to cut my wife's waiting for me. We have a pickleball. We're going to go play pickleball, and I'm big into pickleball. Actually, met my goal this year. I wanted to win a couple of titles. I won in mixed doubles. And men's doubles at the U.S. Open. I won titles this year, playing in category my skill level. And I love challenges. I always have to do something. I used to do long driving in golf and won some world long driving championships in my age category, but they dropped the older guys. They got rid of the old farts. Oh. And so now I'm doing pickleball, and I'm playing a lot of them, do stuff with a lot of companies, but this Leaf, a really great cannabinoid company. In fact, actually, just people go to rickbarry24.com. It's not ready to go yet. The site's going to have all the different things I'm involved in. I've got some unbelievable things, sleeves for your knees and for calves and other things with kinesio tape built into them. I'm doing some stuff off the freaking streets and putting them into places to change their lives. I just have a lot of things that I'm involved in. I'm busier now than I've ever been in my life. It's exciting. In fact, I've got a company starting up called Pickleball Connections. Go to pickleball.org. You can check that out as well. So, yeah, I'm busy. I've always been that type of person. I'm not one to sit around and do nothing. I think if people went on a vacation with me, my friend of mine one time, he went on vacation with me sometime, and he said, "Hell, I got to go home to go ahead and rest. You're killing me."
Go on a vacation from the vacation.
I need a vacation from my vacation.
That's exactly. Yeah, but no. So I'm blessed, and I just enjoy it. Just so lucky to have. I mean, you tell me what the odds are on to have 5 boys and have all 5 of my boys get Division I college scholarships. All 5 play professional basketball. I mean, I was hoping that one of them would be good enough to play. So I've been truly blessed, and God's been good to me. I've got great health, and hopefully my goal in life, you always have to have goals.
Yeah.
My goal in winning some more pickleball national championships and stuff is
there
to be 100 years old and go fly fishing in Alaska.
There you go. And you're doing Big Three. You've been coaching in the Big Three. How fun is that?
That Cube has been great. I really appreciate the opportunity that he gave me.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that keeps you around the game. I get to hang out and see, Dr. J and Gary Payton and the Iceman and a lot of, Michael Cooper and a lot of the other coaches, Lisa Leslie, who I got to know because my wife ran USA basketball for 12 years. And I was around Lisa watching her play and winning all those world championships and Olympic games. And then Nancy Lieberman, who I've known forever. And Nancy's a coach there as well. So it's kind of like old home week, and I get to see some of the younger guys that I admired playing that I never knew. I just got to meet Leandro Barbosa, who played for me. And I want to tell you, there isn't a finer human being in the world than Leandro Barbosa. I told him after one of the games, and I have a great picture that somebody happened to snap with me with right next to him. I love this picture I have of him and me. And I said, Leandro, if I was a coach in the NBA and I had 15 players like you with your attitude, I would think I had died and gone to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Still, just watching him on Saturday, he still can move. Still move.
Yeah.
Still go. He's still quick as heck at 39 years of age and just a wonderful guy. Loved him. Jody Meeks did a good job. We just didn't have the firepower and help in some of the other areas, and we struggled, and we didn't shoot the ball well in a couple of games, which cost us a chance to get to the playoffs. But it was a lot of fun. I'm hoping that the league's going to still be around. If COVID's gone, we can start going around back to the other cities.
Sure.
Where things are going well before COVID. And I'm just grateful to Cube and to Jeff Quantnitz for giving me the opportunity to be a part of that and being able to keep me around a game that has been so incredibly wonderful to my family and to me. And I really have to go because my wife is staring me down.
Yes.
We can't be late for our pickleball match. So
no, he's been yelling in the background, pickleball. I keep hearing
pickleball. So
this is part of my life right now. Right?
Hey.
All right, there it is.
Go. Sorry.
All right. It's pickleball time. Rick, thank you.
We thank you.
Come back and sit down with us some other time, Rick. We'll definitely do this again.
Bye.
All right.
NBA legend Rick Barry, live here on Unnamed Sports Show, man. A lot of knowledge being dropped. He knows the game, and a lot of people who played the game don't know the game as good as Rick Barry knows the game and still obviously loves the game,
Yes.
And I think that's what's good to see because a lot of times we do see players that used to be in the NBA that don't watch anymore, that are a little maybe bitter that the game's different. He seems to still enjoy the game how it is now,
Yeah.
And I think that's really dope that he still appreciates, watches, and can drop that knowledge of the game.
That's right. Look, my thing is it's so funny because I've done the Who's Your Five, a few times, and I've done it with other NBA players. And NBA players, a lot of times, they pick that 4 spot to not have to score.
Yeah.
Or you need a certain kind of 4. Jerome, when he picked his team, his 4 was Charles Barkley. And but defense is always something that everyone talks about. And for him to go Bill Russell and then turn around and go Wilt, you can't fight him on his 5. He's got Magic. I think the 3 spot is the one with the most debate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody can say what they want, but for the most part, if you're going to go 1, there's only a few places you're going to go, and a lot of them lead back to Magic. At the 2, you really only have a few options really there, and it's Jerry West, Kobe, Jordan.
That's
it. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Yeah, after that, it starts to...
If you pick Dwayne Wade, you're just a Miami fan.
Yeah, you're forcing a little bit. It's the 3 spot because there's a lot of spots, a lot of places you can go, and you got Bird, you got LeBron, obviously, but Rick Barry averaging 35.
Yeah.
You can't argue him.
Bro, 35, second year in the league. You just don't see that a lot.
Yeah.
And going, like I said, with no 3-point line.
Yeah.
Not shooting good free throws at the time, man. So really awesome to be able to get him on live. So if you guys missed it, if you guys are just tuning in, make sure you watch the replay. Follow us on YouTube and check that out as well. Other things happening in sports today. Kobe Bryant, it would have been his 44th?
Yeah, or
43rd or 4th.
Somewhere
No,
in
he's
there.
younger than me.
Oh, all right. Well, then
I'm 44. So it would have been 43 or 44.
Okay.
Birthday today. Tomorrow's Kobe Bryant Day in L.A., 8/24.
Yep.
Both of his jersey numbers. So, big day. Oh, my bad. I muted your mic.
No, you're good. No, I had to take a phone call, so that's good that you didn't catch that.
He had her whole phone call on.
I did.
Hey, off camera.
Mom
As long as
stuff.
it's off camera.
Oh, yeah.
Mom
It
stuff
was.
never stops.
Mom stuff never stops.
Yeah.
Never
When's
stops.
your
And that-
birthday?
January 24th. I'll be
okay.
36.
Wait,
Yeah.
January
Wow.
24th.
Yes.
You're an Aquarius?
Aquarius. Freebird, man.
That
Hey.
I don't.
Floating on
And your
rainbows.
birthday is November 11th. It's on the floor.
No.
November 10th. It's
So what
on
is
the floor.
that? What is November?
November 10th. It's on the floor.
Scorpio.
There
What
is-
are you?
It's
Quan?
all over the floor.
Is it-
November 10th.
No,
seriously.
Look at the
Seriously?
floor.
That's
That was-
how we knew this was our place
Yeah.
because him and Todd are
Oh my gosh,
other.
that's cool.
I was like,
it's meant to be.
I was like, oh no, this
That's
is the spot, Quan. We don't have to see anything else.
Here's a
Wow,
crazy story.
yeah.
Crazy story about the studio. We were at Todd's office up the street. They had an office up the street, and we were talking about their birthdays because it was a few months, probably a month before. It was in October.
Yeah.
And so they were talking about how, oh yeah, I forgot we have the same birthday, and we're talking about November 10th being their birthday, and then 5 minutes later, we get an email. I'm like, okay, let's go check out this spot. It's right up the street. Might as well go check it out.
Okay.
It was a little bit out of the price range that we had asked the realtor to send. But we're like, it's up the street. Might as well go check it out. So we walk in. We're checking it out. It looked perfect. Just the feel of walking in here and everything was perfect. Todd says, hey, I want to check it out too. I changed my mind. I want to come down there. So he ends up coming down here. We're walking around. I look at the floor, and on every panel on the floor, it's plywood on the floor for the flooring. It had November 10th
Yeah.
on every panel. And I was
That's
tripping out. I'm
nice.
like, that's how you know something's meant to be. Because they were both walking around. I'm like, yo, your birthdays are on the floor.
That's crazy.
That's when you don't even question,
That
like,
really is.
well, show me one more sign.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, no, stop at that
That
sign.
is definitely the universe speaking for sure.
Oh, God.
And when is your birthday?
The universe doesn't speak.
It speaks to me all
I
the
believe
time.
in God. But that's fine. You can-
I do too, but I'm in touch
God
with
owns
the
the universe. So,
True. Yeah, of
In the
course.
palm of his hand.
yeah.
Maybe in his finger.
Got
We
the
don't ever know.
whole world. Oh, there you go.
When is when is your birthday?
October 2nd
So that is what?
He's a Libra.
in 2 months.
Oh, okay. I'm really not into like the horoscopes. thing
October's
so
after
much, but-
September.
Oh my God.
No, I'm not
the-
into horoscope.
the-
I had to learn that because so many people would ask me,
They
"What's
would
your
always
sign? What's your sign?" And
You're a Libra.
I know that now. But
Yeah,
So you
no,
just
no.
know?
because people
He's-
would tell me.
Do I seem like an Aquarius?
See, I've
don't know
never
what
really
that-
dated Aquarius, so that's the one of the signs. Like
That you're
the
afraid
very
of.
beginning. No, not afraid, not afraid. Just I don't know as much about it because
Right.
that's just whatever. For every reason, that's not what I attract, and that's not typically what I'm
I
attracted.
feel like
to.
it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what sign it is if you're a Latina. Like crazy is crazy.
Like, what sign am I?
Right,
Latina.
right.
Libra,
That's
Aquarius,
it.
Sagittarius.
Not
They're all
attractive.
going to slash your tires. It doesn't matter.
Listen, I would slash a tire, but I would just put sprinkles on it on top of it just
Oh
to
my
make it pretty.
God. Oh my-
Slash the tire with sprinkles.
And then I would spray sprinkles. Just,
Oh my God.
I still
Just to
love
be
you,
nice.
but I'm very upset with you right now.
oh my gosh,
Oh,
that's
man.
too funny.
Anything else we got in sports today?
I mean, this is the
Big-
last week of the preseason.
Thank God.
Yeah, and then we're
We're a week away.
we're well, no, we're still 2 weeks.
Well, I'm
I'm-
saying a week after that.
I'm going to the Redskin. I'm going to the Washington football team Atlanta Falcons game. I'm going to
Where
Atlanta.
at?
It's in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah,
Nice.
in Atlanta. I'm gonna try to go to a Caps game the next week in DC. So we'll
Okay.
see.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, listen, folks. Any pop culture? Anything before we go?
You know, I don't know too much what's going on, but I'm reading the comments. And Monacia K threats.
That
She
would be
just said-
Monisha.
Monisha.
Okay. I said Monacia, but we'll go with
I mean,
Monisha.
that's her Spanish name, Monacia.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, right?
Right.
It sounds Spanish to me. I love it. But she said
Monacia.
Team Libra. So we have a lot of Libras.
Okay. All right.
I've heard Libras are the best. People told me that.
I don't know.
Well-
I will say this. I dated this guy that was a Libra, and he was a nightmare. I'll just say that.
Well,
But maybe that's not everyone. of course.
Libras a lot of times as they get older and they figure out their balance, they're great.
Mm.
But earlier in their especially when they're still trying to figure out who they are,
When they're young,
they're off balance.
Crazy.
He was 56 at the time, so I don't know. But
Maybe
We'll move on.
Wait till he's 76. It'd be,
I'm moving on. I'm not.
how, old
I'm
were,
not-
wait, how old were you? 'Cause
That's why I said
still
we're
too-
moving
I was-
on.
You're still too young.
I was about 22 at the time. Yeah.
Didn't you hear
How
me
much
say
money
we're
did he
moving
have?
on?
We had a lot of money.
There you go. That makes
Did
sense.
you hear me say we were moving on? I
that's
wasn't gonna
fine.
put none of her business
That's
on the street.
fine. She just put it
It's
on
fine.
there.
I'm an open book. It's
She's an open
cool,
book.
you know.
To your own
That's
detriment.
fine.
No.
That's fine.
No, but honestly, no. But a lot of the girlfriends that I've had that are Libra, amazing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
dope as
But
girls.
any guy that's that old trying to date that young is going to be
Yeah.
kind of crazy. So
right.
young girls, watch out for older guys. Well, unless he's 44.
Listen, unless
with-
you have, unless
salt and
you're,
pepper
unless
hair.
you're going for him for a certain reason, then do you, boo?
Just
Do
do
you.
you and be safe.
Be safe.
But you can't do it on OnlyFans anymore because they canceled you guys. Sorry, ladies.
Is that what happened to OnlyFans?
Yeah, they're
canceled now.
they're taking
Well,
the porn off.
Yeah.
Really?
You can't.
You
You know
shake the
how
booty
many
anymore.
times Chad was like, "Dude, if you just had an OnlyFans, my
Oh,
own husband."
my
I'm like,
gosh.
I would never.
Chad is pimping out.
I swear.
No,
I
no,
swear. I'm
the
like, Chad, this never
Chad,
is
what
gonna
are you doing, bro?
happen.
What
It
are
would
you
be
doing,
the
Chad?
worst.
the video of Offset laying down Cardi B's hair at the the meme where it was like me laying down my girl's hair as she goes to perform for her OnlyFans so I can get this PS5.
Wow.
Like,
Oh my
okay,
gosh.
Chad.
That's amazing.
I'm looking at
No,
you, Chad.
no.
Chad, be better. Be better. We gotta find out new
Stop,
ideas.
babe. Come on,
Husbands,
man.
quit trying to make your wives do OnlyFans. It's okay. You
I
should
would
be
never.
their
I was like,
OnlyFans.
I know. I told him, I was like, if you want to do an OnlyFans, go for it, dude. Like, you know, it pays for my plastic surgery, Botox, whatever.
Oh
Let's
my-
do it. But I am not doing it. It's not happening. I
Oh my
cannot.
God.
No more plastic surgery.
Yes.
I haven't really had any. I'm looking for it.
No, you
in the
don't need
future.
it. You don't need it.
We're not bringing that on air.
You
I
gotta-
know.
No, we want you guys
we
to
can go
vote.
there,
Vote in the comments.
He did.
Should she get plastic surgery or not? Anywhere.
Well, they don't know.
No,
Okay,
no, anywhere.
I've had my breasts done.
But
I
anymore.
had them done after I breastfed 3 of my kids. So I just
Oh.
I really felt like I needed to get it done.
Yeah.
After breastfeeding, I breastfed all 3 kids for like a year and a half. So, but no, I was talking to Quan and Josh that I've been wanting to get some kind of like a butt implant or thigh
Don't do it.
injections.
Don't do it.
And I'm like,
Don't do
it's
it.
so
Don't do it. Don't do
normal, and I want to do it so bad. And it's not like I don't have curves. Like
It's
I
not
have
normal.
curves.
You have
I just
curves.
I want to be able to walk around and set
Natural
stuff
is
on
better.
my butt. Like if
Why?
I'm holding a kid and I got a grocery, I
just
can
gonna
throw
put
a
the
juice
kid on the
box.
butt?
I can throw a juice
juice
box
box.
back
I'm thinking
there.
of the
Not
kid
a
back
juice
there.
box and sit on
Juice
the.
box.
Oh Lord.
A little Kool-Aid package
Don't
back
do
there.
it.
Like I just, I want to walk like that
No.
walk where it
That is
flops around
horrible.
and jiggles. Like I'm just,
So we're setting
I
up.
want to go online and
we're
be
setting
like,
up a
I do
poll.
1,000 squats a day and I eat so many sweet potatoes and I just did this naturally. Like I've been dying to just do that.
Do that voice
but
again?
I just do 1,000 squats a day and I eat like 26 sweet potatoes and my butt grew out of nowhere. I don't know what happened, but
I'll tell.
it's literally
man.
natural. Like
Listen,
I want
I'll tell you how white girls got butts. This is how it happened. It's in Starbucks. It's literally in Starbucks.
What?
Look, listen. Look, you're from my
I
generation.
drink Starbucks.
You're
I don't know.
You're from my generation. So we had a theory in college because remember Starbucks didn't really get popping until about early 2000s.
Yeah.
Okay,
Really?
true. Right.
That's about the time the white girls found butts.
But I don't get it from Starbucks because what?
They're at Starbucks every day.
There's
So this is
some-
the only,
there's-
this is the
there's
only
something-
thing that I
I
can
was like,
say
I
that's
drink a lot of
different.
There's something
Starbucks
in the
and it didn't
Starbucks.
work on
Something in
me.
Starbucks. It's something in a venti latte that's changing.
For me, it's like if I eat, like even when I was pregnant, like I don't know if it's being a Mexican and Italian, like my thighs and butt were like huge. My like everything, but everything else got big. So it's like I just
Can't
I wanna-
have it all.
So I don't know. Anyways,
Wow. So, anyways, vote in here, and then we'll put a
Oh,
poll
yeah,
up on
just, hey,
on Instagram.
we
So
can
make
do
sure
a
you
poll.
follow at Unnamed Sports Show on Instagram and vote there too. Should Sophia Maria, who looks perfect,
oh, you're
get
so sweet.
more
I
work
love
done
Juan.
that's fake? And guys, do you guys like fake butts?
Okay.
My answer is no.
Yeah, my answer is no as well.
Monish just said that pumpkin spice latte and Uggs. That's how.
Trying to
Girl,
tell
that
you.
is so
And
funny.
Uggs.
That's
Trying to tell you,
hilarious with the Uggs.
Uggs grew white girls' butts too.
Yo, that is so funny.
Shout out to Monacia.
Monacia. Monacia.
Monacia.
Monacia.
That's like
It's
Italian.
your name in Italian.
Monacia.
Monacia.
But don't do
I
it.
love it.
Don't do it.
All right. Well, I
Can
don't know.
just-
You know, at the moment,
Do you
the
know
money's
there's
just not
guys-
there. So it's just.
It can't happen
I'm a broke
anyways.
bitch, so what can I say? I just can't have it. I might buy one of those. What are those padded underwears?
Oh my
my
god.
You imagine wearing it?
They got them on Wish. They got them on Wish. One
I'm just
side's
gonna
bigger
wear the
than the
padded
other.
underwear with my pasties
Yeah.
when I'm trying to get sexy for my
Oh
husband
my
at night and just how does this look?
He'll be
Oh
filming it
my-
like OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
You
Listen,
would.
you probably have OnlyFans. You don't
You
even know
just
about
don't
it.
know.
Chad's running
Like, how
that.
did that
Oh, that
bill
would
get
be
paid?
horrible. If he was taping me on the low, it would be the worst OnlyFans ever. I'd just be sitting there like,
Oh my
I'd be
god.
blowing a fart.
Wow. Listen, there's probably some guys who would pay for that.
I'll be taking my hair
There's some
extensions
weird guys
out.
out there.
Sadly, that is
Yeah.
our species. It
That's-
is.
yeah,
It's,
it's
there's
weird.
some
That
weird dudes out
That's
there.
so
weird.
weird. I don't like guys with like foot fetishes. I
That's
couldn't
weird.
That's weird to
stand
me
that.
too.
You know, it is like a cool little feeling, but at the same time, I just like.
It's a
just
cool
stop.
little feeling. Listen, we're
You know
about to
what,
get
like,
moved to Vegas
okay,
Side Media Network.
We're not getting on
it's
that
happening.
subject.
It's happening.
Like Sophia is
She-
here.
yeah, she's
I was
almost kicking
quiet
us
for
off
so
the-
long on here, and now it's just all coming
You're
out.
like-
the non-filtered.
Now that
mouth.
Rick's gone, the Sophia Maria show.
Did you
That's
enjoy
horrible.
having Rick on?
Oh my gosh, I love him.
He's a
I
good
love
guy.
his realness, his honesty. He ran the show.
Oh,
And then
like
my-
I knew
honestly,
he was
he
going
just
to.
My
he-
mom before
no,
the
but he
show was
just-
asking if he was single, and we saw his wife. So, Mom, sorry, he's not.
Oh,
He's not. Rosalie.
Can you find her an NBA player?
a former NBA player?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, not a current one.
You know
I
what?
don't need no little brothers.
I want to be the only one. That's funny.
Oh, in
they-
the show. In the show.
what former players can you hook her up with?
I'll see what I got, Rosalie. I'll have to open up the Hall of Fame Rolodex and see what I got.
The Hall of Famer. Yeah, give her a Hall of Famer. Don't give her,
Oh, okay. It can't just be a local legend. It's got she needs the fame.
I know a
Good
few
one.
great guys. One guy works at, I think, P.F. Chang's, but hey, he's
We
not
went
in
from
the NBA.
NBA legends.
What is man? I don't know.
Sorry, Rosalie.
I don't know what made me think
What
of
we
that.
do have, we don't have Rick Barry for you, but what we do have,
Look at, have you been to P.F. Chang's
We
happy hour? I'm
don't
just saying.
we do have Brad.
We don't have,
We have Brad, your
filet
server.
mignon, but I do have
Chili's.
a piece of
Spam.
salt, if that's what you
Spam.
wish.
We have Spam.
1 grain of salt.
Wow.
No.
One
Hey.
grain.
We don't have
That's
Rick Barry,
so
but
funny.
here's Brad, your server. He's single. He's going to college, and his rap career is about to be set off.
Oh my god!
Oh
All right.
man,
You know what?
we need
I'm
to get
just
my
not
mom on
gonna
the
say
show and do
anything.
like a dating game and have
Let's have your mom on the show. Do a dating game, and we can incorporate it with like a couples thing. Oh no, who? Yoshi?
Yoli. No.
Wait.
No. It's
First of all-
Alexis. It's Alexis is the one that does
I
the
felt
dating.
like she was
That's
ordering
what.
sushi.
That's what.
She's over here ordering Yoshi.
I am
Yoli
so sorry.
is our
Oh
other
my
lady.
gosh.
Is our
She
other
is
lady.
butchered. She butchered all
You
names.
guys, all right.
Like her Instagram story had to
All
change.
right.
We had to have her take off her Instagram story earlier because she called this gorilla crossing like we were crossing guards or something.
you guys, it is
I
so
love it though.
bad.
I think it's great.
I don't know if it's mom brain consistently, but I mix up names.
Consistently.
I mix up names.
But she
I mix
doesn't
up
say, like, oh,
everything.
what's
It's
their
so
name?
bad. Oh, I know. I just say it.
She'll
and
just make something up.
I'm gonna go with it. I feel
So-
strongly
All right.
about this.
So back to Yoshi and the dating game.
oh, Yoli, I'm so sorry.
It's we also still have to bring
Yoshi?
no
Alexis.
Alexis, but well now pregnant Alexis.
Oh, nice.
You have to do the horse game with Blanca.
Yeah, Blanca has
She has a fight coming up next month. She released it.
no.
What happened?
Well, not in September.
It shifted.
It shifted because her back. So her back
Oh,
is was injured, so she was training too hard, so she had to rest.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
they pushed it back. I think.
Okay.
I can't say when. but they
yeah,
pushed it back,
yeah. Okay. All right.
But yeah, we do have to do that, but we'll probably do it after her.
After
fight.
her fight, yeah. It was. I don't need any
I don't want to take an L before
any
the fight, you know?
injuries. No, I just don't need any dumb injuries.
I wouldn't want to be
playing.
the one to injure somebody before a fight,
Exactly.
Oh, my
or to
gosh.
be the cause,
Exactly.
and I wouldn't want to get injured before her fight.
Chaos Williams said hello, by the way, as well.
Hi, Chaos. Where's he at?
I talked to him on the phone on Saturday
All right.
because
Anybody say hi to Sophia?
No.
a lot of people actually always say hi to Sophia.
Yeah.
I just don't relay those messages.
He's like, it doesn't matter.
It's not. No,
Doesn't- I
it's
don't
for
care.
the for the best. It's for the best. I keep those messages on this side of the table.
We do
Wait.
get.
We got foot fetishes and everything else over.
Wow.
Oh man, those foot fetishes. Ugh,
Weird.
come on.
Weird.
Be better, men. Just
But
be
look,
better.
if anyone wants a photo of my okay.
Oh my gosh.
in the show.
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. No, I was joking.
I do want a fake booty, so I guess I'll sell some feet.
I have a
photos.
jar, and I'm saving up some money in the jar. And no, not actually.
It'd
I'm
be
just
funny
joking.
if Chad just has OnlyFans of you. That's all.
That would be hilarious.
Sophia
I'm telling you,
Maria's
it'd be the
Cash
worst
App
one.
is
Yeah, it would be horrible, and I would apologize, and you probably want your money back. So that's all I can say.
No,
Not
great.
sexy. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Anyways, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you guys check out the replay. Please share the replay too. It was a dope interview. So anybody you know that's an NBA fan, NBA historian, anything like that, man, that was a great interview with Rick Barry. So thanks for hooking that up. Thanks for getting in contact with him. And we hope to have more in the future.
I have Dr. J soon.
NBA players, former players. Dr. J will be on. We're gonna claim it now.
Bro, we
claim it now.
have Dr. J on here. That's 250 greatest players of all time.
Yep.
And that's one arguably that was the greatest of all time for a long time.
He was at his during his time. He was.
Yes.
I mean, Rick Barry was during his time too.
Yes.
He was the best player in the league a couple of those years. So
That's
we
crazy.
definitely appreciate that, man. And hopefully we'll have Dr. J Skyping in sometime soon. Trying to get some people in the studio too. And we got some other people that are going to be doing shows, getting some NBA players and coaches and stuff like that on the show. So we do appreciate it. Check out all of our shows on the Gorilla Cross Network. Let the Ball Bounce every Tuesday, 6 p.m. West Coast time, and every Saturday, 2 p.m. West Coast time, right here on Gorilla Cross. We're live again on Thursdays, 2, 3, whatever time. Just check your local listings. Follow us at Unnamed Sports Show. Straight Bet Sports with Jose V every Wednesday, 9 p.m. No Plays Off with our girl, Miss Ballin' D, every Wednesday, 6 p.m. We have a lot of shows going on, so make sure you follow Gorilla Cross, Vegas Hype Media. We got a lot going on here at the studio, so making improvements. We got a ceiling almost, partly, at least over our heads. You like it?
Yeah, it looks nice.
It's going to look better once it's all done. But
It looks
It's
amazing.
all right. It looked great before for me, so anything is good.
yeah.
I love it
Always
in
making
here.
upgrades.
The whole look, the vibe. It's so
Yeah.
dope. Yeah.
And we love it when you're here because you make the vibe a lot doper.
Thank
You do.
I appreciate you
Yeah,
guys. I love
you
being
do.
here talking with you
Yeah.
and learning, like I say all the time. Yeah.
You're going to be, listen, after your first year of being with us,
Right.
you're going to know a lot about sports.
And
I
you're
know,
gonna
I feel like it
you're gonna
already.
keep watching more too, and it's just
And then when you see things on TV, you're like, oh, we talked about that, and you're going to know, and you're going to be blowing Chad's mind.
It's true.
with
Already.
some of your sports knowledge.
Me and him can like go back and forth about things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
good,
I love
good,
it.
good.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me.
for
and
sure.
thanks guys
Always.
for tuning in.
Yeah,
Blessings and besitos.
there we go.
My
We are
merch is
out.
for sale.